And what's up, everybody? This is None Defense, host of this YouTube channel, and of course co-leader of the team, Still Unboomable. I'll pull them right on up. There they are, Still Unboomable, and of course our real-life leader, Miss Boom Bitch Angie, right there, and of course myself, Mr. None Defense, and I am on the account Buddy, way down there at 185 victory points. No intel for the week. Don't do much on this account. It is currently listed as the leader, I believe. Anybody who, if you were just a random guy and you were out there and you were scouting teams, he's co-leader right now. But if you're scouting teams and you came to Still Unboomable and you looked and you're like, why in the heck is you have all these leaders and officers at the top and then you have a leader way down there? What's going on there? Well, that's what's going on. Okay, so this is a video, still technically a direct response to HT. He asked a couple questions yesterday, and he asked about some hookah attacks, which we did. We did on Willow. We showed some different ways to sneak a hookah. Nothing super brilliant, nothing super amazing, but some decent, little strategies. He also asked about how to do some skank attacks. Spin was nice enough to pin some attacks that he did with skanks, and I didn't get a chance to get on that video, so I got to get in touch with him to get him to share some more, but that won't be too big of an issue. The other question he asked was target selection in operation. Now, I didn't know specifically if he was asking like what target to hit or when to target a target or whatever, and it was really kind of because there are so many variations in op. Once you're actually in the op, it's kind of hard to say if there's a definitive answer. But what I asked our guys to do is to share some defenses. And Bort jumped in, and I was on None and Lord Marshall, so I went ahead and just so we got some shares. We're going to use these as op simulators specifically for target selection. The goal is not to beat them. The goal is to pick our target, explain why we wanted to pick that target, and so we're treating this like an operation. Okay, so this is None Defense's base. So let's assume that this was an operation and we only had a handful of attacks. Well, first thing we want to do is we're going to want to get rid of like this shock launcher and this rocket launcher. Like if we could get those two down in one attack from a low level, then I would consider that a successful run. Okay, so here's how we're going to do that. You notice that there are no mines right here, right? Oh, didn't mean to do that. Sorry, I thought I was scouting. Ha, ha, ha. Alright. Good job. That was stupid. Anyway, so there were no, let's just go over there. Let's just visit him real quick. Alright, let's try it this way. Good job. So anyway, so there are no mines right here. Now, while it makes sense for me, None Defense, to not have mines there for the type of my goal, but for this, it's going to be perfect. I'm going to do a Smoky Zuka drop right over here, and I'll show you, and then I'm going to flare right there, right? And then coming out of the smoke, I'm going to put a shock here, so that's going to get this machine gun and this shocker and this grappler, and I'm going to put a shock here, that's going to get this rocket launcher and hopefully these two machine guns if I do that right. Okay, and then another shock over here, and then that should take out this rocket and this shock launcher. And then, so we're talking about target selection. Now my goal here is to remove this rocket, this shock launcher. Like if I can do both of those, then I would consider it really successful. So let's just do that standard, okay? So let's go back in. We're going to attack Mr. None Defense. Let me hit the bowl here. Just reloaded it. And I know what you're thinking. Well, why didn't you just hit it before you started the video? I was like, well, it wasn't loaded before the video. Well, why didn't you load it before the video? Because I was too busy thinking about this video to think about loading. Shut up. No, just do the goddamn attack. Here we go. I'm going to go with the 3 smoke system. Here we go. We go 1, 2, boom, and boom, boom. Okay, I lost some girls there, and that sucks. Not particularly pleased about that. But again, that's why we're doing this practice run on a base and not an op. So okay, so here we go. We're going to get ready to do our big shock. Here we go, here we go, here we go. And shock, shock, shock. Ah, and I missed one. I missed a rocket. I missed that rocket. Can I get that rocket? We're going to try again. But that's okay. That was the practice run. Now, in real operations, obviously, you don't get practice runs. So, let's try it again. Here we go. So again, the goal is to get in between that spot. That one didn't. Let's try 3 smokes this time. 2 just didn't quite do it. Okay, and we're going to flare over here. Get everybody up here. No, that's not what I wanted. Terrible. Just terrible. I'm usually much better than this. Like, this is the kind of thing that would make me want to, like, not do the video. Okay, well, I guess I just don't have as much gunboat on Buddy as I thought. But that's alright. I wasn't expecting miracles. So, let's look at what happened. So, we've done that twice now. I mean, aside from the fact that obviously I didn't get it off as cleanly as I want to, but again, for op simulation purposes, the first person who attacked rarely gets it off as clean as he wants to. So, you know, so it's not terrible. But let's watch this last one. You know, I mean, and this is, in my defense, this is a high stress type of drop situation. You know, your kill zone is very well, or your landing zone is very well defended. I'm going to do this one again, but this time I'm going to do the flare over here. Smoke, smoke, drop, drop, drop. Then go in there. Now you notice I have not flared these targets yet, and I'm going to get to that because we're again, this is target selection. So what we're letting happen is to show what happens when everything is undamaged, right? And then we just stick some stuff in there. Well, then the girls tend to just target kind of whatever's closest to them, whatever's weakest. You know, there's really no logic to what's going on. So we're going to try it again. Here we go. On none defense. Attacking none. Alrighty, here we go. Now we're doing the fancy drop. Smoke, smoke. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Smoke. Boom, boom. And flare. And smoke. Ah, and they still didn't group the way I wanted them to. That's unusual. Usually they group better than that, at least. Okay, so now everything is undamaged. We're going to just hit that because supposedly, I still missed that one rocket. See, okay, so that one worked out much better, right? And I threw that little bomb on the rocket. So the theory is that Zookas are going to want to target something that's damaged, right? Alright, so let's do this one more time, and this time we're going to drop a bomb directly on that rocket, and we're going to do it before we do anything else. So that way, so everything's untouched, everything's weak, or everything's untouched, everything's fine, so boom. Now, the only thing that has damage is that one rocket. So that being said, if this is 100% true, and I have yet to prove it as true or false, so this is it. We're going to do the fancy Zooka drop. We're going to get right there. I'm not going to flare them onto the target. I'm just going to flare them to the spot. And if this is 100% accurate, then the first thing that those Zookas are going to destroy is that rocket. Let's find out. 1, 2, zoom, We're going to get them good and grouped this time. Good and grouped. There we go. Like, you don't get much better than that. I guess you could get better than that, as I did lose one there, 2, 3, however many. So again, so this is the test. Here we go. Shock, shock, and shock. Look at that. See that? See, it works. Everybody see what just happened there? So I threw a little bomb at the rocket, parked the girls next to the rocket, and the girls automatically targeted the rocket. Okay? So that's really cool. So we're like, yay, we know something. We've proven something is true. Right? Wrong. Because, and here's why this is kind of, it's a neat little trick, and when it can be used, it can certainly be used awesomely, right? Hey, where are None Defense's boats? Because I happen to know None Defense is not anywhere right now. So where are his boats? Anyway, alright, so the problem is that I'm finding, that I'm seeing, since we've learned this trick, and I forget who it was that stumbled across it on YouTube and shared it with us, but thank you for whoever it was. There is a downside that I'm noticing, because we, as a part of our strategy, our team artillery attack, we have a tendency to want to barrage, right? So what often happens, and is happening, None? Can Buddy really take out one of your rockets in two? Okay, well, no, they got the barrage. Alright, so that's not too bad. Anyway, but you see what happens when you drop the barrage is then the damage spreads around. So what are the girls going to target? So I feel like more often than not, you're going to end up having to, you know, drop your girls to the spot, get them to the spot, and then when the smoke, and right as they're under smoke, you're still going to end up having to flare the target anyway, you know, whatever the target is, if it's that, you know, and then do your shocks and all that stuff. So what did we learn on this one? Well, if you're asking my opinion, I feel like we learned that when everything is untouched, when the defenses that we're intending to attack are untouched, then yes, it works. That little mark it with the artillery does work. I do feel that if you're going to do that, you need to go ahead, before you even drop troops, you need to go ahead and get that target damaged. And I'll show you, because let's get, this time, we're going to get under smoke, okay? And we're going to damage the rocket, but we're not going to do it until they're already under smoke and like already kind of settling into things. So that's how we're going to do this one. And I do like to try everything. Big fan. Love experimentation. Bit of a science nerd. Okay, so now, okay, so let's see how this goes. And shock, shock, shock. Okay, see that? So this time they once again, because I threw the damage while they were still under smoke and still getting all set. So that's see what I'm saying? Did you see what happened? They still targeted their own target. So we've got to be smart about this whole targeting, you know, marking the target thing, because if there are other weak things around the target, it doesn't matter. Or if the target's already damaged, or excuse me, if the target takes the damage while we're trying to get under the smoke, it's too late. They're still going to do whatever they're going to do. So if we're going to do it, guys, we have to do it correctly. That means we've made a mental decision in our mind that before we drop our troops, that we're going to get some troops there, and then we're gonna mark it in this manner. So we need to have it already marked before we drop our boats. So that's on you, the attacker. So whoever you are, if you decide that you're going to target using the marking, well, you know, whatever, that's fine. But you got to do it on the first run. There can't be any damaged defenses around the little area, and I think we've proven that you'll be better off marking it before you drop. Okay, so if you're going to mark it with the artillery, go ahead and do that before we drop. Alrighty, there, let's attack Don's base. So, again, these are just, you see what's going on. We're looking for target selection. You're talking about target selection. So we're going to continue the same thing. I want to put my girls right here. Okay, so that means I'm going to need to drop an artillery right there. Okay, looking good. So we're going to put our girls right there and coming out of the smoke, and my goal is to take out the rocket launcher there. So then that means, so coming out of the smoke, I'm going to need to go, can I hit both of those? Alright, I can. It's not a guarantee, but I can go shock, like that, and then that. Okay. Alright, here we go. We're going to do Dawn's base. We're taking out that one rocket. So again, and we're not marking this time. No, excuse me. So we are not marking. We are barraging. See, he's got the rocket over there that he's working on, so we don't have to worry too much about that. We're going to go this way. And shut, and boom. Here we go. This is where it gets fun and exciting. And then of course I got some girls doing that stupid thing, but whatever, that's what girls do, I suppose. Alright, so we've not marked anything, so again we're just going to test it out. Here we go. Did I just lose everything? I just lost everything. What did you have hiding back there, Dawn? Good work. I must have missed a mine. You know, like, I must have missed a mine. What else could it have been? Do I have a Zuka still alive somewhere? No. Alright, there we go. Alrighty. Okie dokie. Now, obviously, when you're practicing on player bases, you know, one of the big differences is the fact that you can make a mistake and it's not going to cost you anything. Like, so there must be a mine right there. Well, I'll be darned. Good job, Don. Well played. Okay. Alright, cool. He wants to be that way, so we're just going to go here. We did everything else right. I was just like, wow, everything, all in all, looks really good. So why are all my Zukas dead? Dawn. Fuck you, Dawn. Nah, Dawn's awesome. We love Dawn. Big fan of Dawn. Big fan of Dawn. Nah, he's a good dude. So anyway, so we're not going to mark anytime. I don't want that to happen. And we're going to shock. Terrible shock this time. Yeah, like everything went wrong there. I didn't even see that shock launcher over there. Buddy doesn't have, without boosting, Buddy doesn't have the kind of juice necessary. But we're going to get that one rocket because that's our goal. Alright, we've tried a couple of ways. Didn't quite work. We're going to park this time behind it and see what that changes. So we're not going to barrage any of this stuff. Here we go. You know, and I see that rocket over there is going to start shooting at me. And trust me, I'm aware. Alrighty, I just want to get down here. And there. Right there. You know, I do want to thank... Uh-oh, gap. Oh, thought that gap was going to get me, but it didn't. Alright, so we're going to mark this time just cause. And shock. That going to do it? See? Yay! So you see what happened? So when what am I trying to say? The defenses that are damaged, the Zukas want to target them. So and what happened there, I noticed when I decided to mark, the Zukas were still on the path, so they hadn't quite locked in on. But had they already been standing there under the smoke, and then I marked it with the rocket, then it makes sense that they wouldn't have changed their target because they're already stopped and targeted on something. As soon as the girls stop under smoke, when they are standing still under smoke, that means they've got their bazookas aimed at something. It may not be what you want them to be aimed at, but they are aimed at something. If they're not walking they're aiming. That's just how Zookas go. So there you go. So we did some of that. Let's attack Lord Marshall's base. The goal was to get that rocket on Dawn. We did. Now Lord Marshall, he wants to be a jerk about it. Okay. Well, again, you know, if I'm required to run this op attack, and I'm using the finger quotes, op attack, and I had to start things off. Like, this one's hard. Like, because he's obviously really high level. And again, and that's why I'm simulating on these. Excuse me, because you're going to get these kind of bases. So, alright, well, if there's a hole, it's right here. I'm not even going to try to explain what I intend to do, just in case that I do it wrong. That way, once I do it wrong, I can say, and see, and this is exactly what I intended to do, and then you won't be able to call me out for fibbing to you or anything like that, because I will not have told you what it is that I'm trying to do. However, if you've watched a few of these attacks previously, and you know me reasonably well, and you're reasonably intelligent, you can probably guess what I'm trying to do. But I'm still not going to tell you. So stop asking so much. Here we go. This is going to be so stupid. Let's mark this one and flare there. Get under that smoke. I know, don't shoot my girls. Alright, so theoretically they're all going to target onto that. We're going to find out. Here we go. Shock and shock. See? Look at that. So does everybody see that? When the girls are on the move, or, you know, the point is, if they haven't targeted and you get that marker off, that marker artillery, call it markillery, I don't know what you want to call it, but then it's going to work. But if you wait until it's at the wait until the girls are already there, it's too late. You know, if you're gonna use some gunboat, might as well just use that extra flare. Let's look at Don's attack of this guy. He said something, because let's just see. Let's see what happens. How's Don going to do this? Don, this is a Japanese guy, and I'm going to call racism on that. Everybody knows you can only attack fellow Caucasians. Alrighty. So let's see what he's got going here. So it's just a little standard thing. Oh, guys, he's got the critters going in the background. Or is he being raided? I'm not sure if he's being raided. I didn't even look. I just saw Don shared something, so let's watch it. But Don runs a mean scorcher, so it wouldn't have surprised me. Shared. No, he defended. Okay, but he was raided. So what did he say? Critters is how to take care of grappler. Oh, okay. I got you. Okay, so he was showing how to disrupt the grappler. Well, I use riflemen typically against player bases, and the grappler is, if anything, the grappler is like a, it almost serves as like a helpful distraction, and I'll have to show you that in a video one day. Like, I really like playing bases with the grappler. Like, I used to love, I'd tear doom cannons up with riflemen all day. Grapplers are just like, psh, whatever. Alright, so we've done some of that. Let's do one more. So we destroyed, did we get the rocket on LM? I just want to make sure we're actually accomplishing even these small goals, you know, before we move on and say, you know, you know me. I'm just trying to show you that it can be done. So let's see. Okay, so on this one, so we're just smoking, walking. Okay, I already sent out the marker, shock, shock, and then they target. You see what I'm saying? So that's how we got to do that. But we remember, we have to be aware if the stuff that we intend to mark, if there's damage, stuff that's already damaged around it from a barrage on the previous attack or whatever, then the mark isn't going to work. So you just got to be aware of that. So that's what I'm saying. Is like, guys, if you're going to use the marking system, use it correctly. Because if you don't, it's not going to help you, and you're going to be in panic mode, and then it's over. So know what you're doing. You know, don't just watch a video and say, oh, well, I think I watched half a second of a video and it kind of made sense. understand what's going on. Try to really get it. Alright, let's do... We haven't attacked Bort yet, so let's attack Bort. What are we going to do on Bort? What are we going to do on Bort? Okay. On Bort, excuse me, our goal is to... We're getting a double goal. We're going to take out this shock launcher and this rocket. Hopefully. That's the goal. So I'm just dropping that barrage there, clear up those mines. I really wanted to get both of those mines there. If I'm going to waste a barrage, then damn it, I want both mines. And I will not settle for not good mines. Clearage. Okay. Here we go. So, let's move that over slightly to the left. Come on, get it, get it, get it. Alright, got it, got it. So I wasn't trying to destroy the sniper there. People, when they watch like replays, they may see that and say, hey, why was he trying to destroy the sniper? I wasn't. I wanted to get rid of the mines. Could care less about the sniper. Alright, this one's going to have to be fast. So here we go. We're going to flare to there. We're going to drop and get the smoke out quickly. So this is using a lot of smoke, but you know, whether you're using a lot of smoke to get somewhere far or you're using a lot of smoke to get somewhere small, you're still going to have to use smoke. I didn't see that flamethrower, but you see the principle. Okay, so we're going to mark that. And of course I just hit a mine, so I only have like 2 girls there, and I'm out of that. Okay, well, it was fun. It was fun, and I almost got it. Like, I mean, I almost got it. Let's do it one more. Let's do one more just to prove that it can be done. And remember, these are op simulations. Op simulations. So, I want to make sure that that's all gone. Did I miss that one? Really? Alright, one more time. I know this video is getting long. I really do try not to let these videos get longer than an episode of a sitcom on television. You know, I mean, I aim for 30 minutes, but it's not like I time it once I start. I just talk until it feels like I've been talking a long time. And then I'm like, well, I guess I must have been talking for a long time because it feels like I have. And usually when it feels like I've been talking for a while, the timing on the video usually reflects that. Okay, so that one didn't quite work. So let's do it this way. Here we go. Let's see if we can get out of this mess like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Shock. Alright, see what I did there? In this case, I just did like a fast shock. I call it a dropping shock. You know, I don't use them often, but when it's needed, I use it. So, alright, so here we go. Gotta remember to shock that this time. There we go. And I didn't mark the shock launcher, and as a result, it's not dead. And of course, there go my rocket or my Zookas again. But that's okay. I think we all see the point. I didn't mark that one, and as a result, it didn't target that. I didn't flare it. I didn't mark it. You know, I did nothing. So if we're talking on the subject of target selection, then you see that's what happens when you don't select a target. You're going to put the girl, and sometimes you want to do that. Like, that's the thing. Sometimes you're just going to want to just place them there and then just let them work, and they'll sort it out, you know. But then other times you want to target specific things. So as always, I guess there's no one right answer. And if anybody ever comes along and swears that they have the one right answer, then, you know, I'm going to immediately doubt everything that they're saying, because there is no one right answer. I mean, there's just not. How could there be? So, alright, I'm going to wrap this video up. I hope this video has shown you some various things. So we've talked about marking, meaning using an artillery to mark something, and if you're going to do that, you have to do it before your girls get to where they're going to be and start finding their own targets. Because remember, once they start finding their own targets, they're going to find their own targets. You know what I mean? So you've got to preempt that. If you're going to use the marking system, you've got to make sure that target is damaged long before the Zookas are in position and ready to start targeting on their own. Because they're going to want to do their own thing. So you've got to encourage them. Was there anything else? You know, every situation is different, obviously. As you know, on this team in Op, one of our big goals is to open the landing zone. We're pretty big on that, because everything else that follows can be done so much easier if that landing zone is open. So that means I'll spend some of my attacks, and I'll take the suicide mission just so you don't have to land your Zookas under stress. You know what I mean? So, but, that's not always an option, as you know, and sometimes you're going to have to land under stress, and there's just not a damn thing I can do about it to help you other than just say, good luck, good luck. So, anyway, I'm wrapping this video up. Alright, friends, I want to thank you all, as always. Thank you for so much for taking time out of your day to hang out with us and watch these stupid videos and laugh at me, and that's important. If you ever need anything, you can reach me through here. I've given out info on how to find us on Facebook. That's, facebook.com/group/stillunboomable. And you can find us there. We accept all members. I don't get to go out. If you're on the other team that Nala NPA is currently on and you're watching this video, I miss you guys. I want to get over there. It's just right now I really need to be dedicated to getting some upgrades on these other accounts done. So that's kind of where all my time is going. And of course, answering questions that anybody asks of me. So that's the point. If you ask a question, I'll find a way to answer your question. Alright, wrapping up. Thank you all again for watching. As always, please remember that we are still unboomable, and we are. And as always, please be safe. And you do. Or at least you better, goddammit. Alright, later.